Let's say, yeah. Last class we have discussed about data types. Do you guys remember that? Now it is continuation. For that we need to use of some of the concepts in that. Okay. Now let's say I'm taking up some number. What is this, guys? 100. It is of one number. Correct or not, guys? Some interactive session, guys. It's not like calmly you need to listen. So just give some reply also. Okay. Whenever I'm asking. This is of some number, correct? Right or not? What is the type of this number? Type it int. Sorry, type integer. Correct. Okay. Now, if for one variable, let's say if you want to store of one variable, int a equal to 100. Okay. Let's say if I want to store of one more variable, okay, int b equal to some 200. Okay, like this, if you have a requirement of like this, if you have a requirement of 100 variables, okay, okay, 100 numbers if you want, like this, declaring of 100 variables is a not a good programming. Okay, it's not a good programming. Okay, instead of writing that 100 variables and storing those each variable in single variable, instead of that I want to store all my values, all of same data type. Okay, even 100 is an integer, 200 is also integer, 120 is also integer. Correct or not? Now, if I want to store all of them in a single variable, if I want to store all of them in a single variable, then in that case, the arrays will concept will come into the picture. Okay. Instead of storing these variables like multiple, okay, like that, I want to store all of them. I want to store all of them in a single variable. Okay, let's assume some 130 whatever that. How can we achieve that? Means by using arrays. Okay, arrays means second, by using arrays. How to declare a array? How to initialize the array? Okay, that means that now let's see that concept we will see today. Now let's share my document. Yeah, array is an indexed collection of fixed number of homogeneous data elements. Fixed number means let's say if you the size must be, let's say you are going to use of if you want to store of 100 elements in one array. Okay, array is used to store some elements, collection of elements. Okay, but the how many number of elements that you want to store, how many number of elements you want to store in the array, the size must be, you should know before that. Okay, then only we can go for arrays concept. Let's say for suppose if you want to store 100 variables, 100 integer type variables, then I can in that case I can create one array with size 100. I can create one array with size 100. Okay, inside that array, I can store of 100 elements, up to 100 elements, but not more than that. If you are trying to insert more than that also, it will give error. Okay, it can accommodate up to 100 elements. Okay, that will say practical. Now, now let's go on. Let's and next one is indexed collection. Indexed means for each elements there may be some position. Index or position, there might be some position. Let's say your array having some 10 elements. Okay, the array zeroth position one element, one first position one element, second position one element, like that we will store all the elements in some index, in some position. Okay, now what is mean by homogeneous? What is mean by homogeneous means all the elements whatever you are storing. Okay, all the elements whatever you are storing in an array must be of same data type. Homogeneous means same. Okay, Homogeneous means same data type, not different data types. Okay. Now let's say for example, what is this number, guys? Have given some number. What is this number? No, no, no. See, I have given, yeah, if F is not there means it is double. If F is there means it is float. Correct or not? Yeah. This is of type is different data type. If F is there means the data type of this number is float. Okay. If nothing is there means it is a double. Correct or not? So if you want to store this double data type in integer, it is not possible. Okay. If you want to create a double array, then all the variables of all the values of inside that will be of double. Okay. Now let's say for example, int. Okay. Int array means it is of two brackets. Okay. This is of array symbol. Okay. And give of some, yeah, any variable name equal to new new int of size. Okay. Let's say if you want to store of some four elements, then we need to give up like this. So this variable, okay, so let's say for example, what is the variable name in this first line, guys? Variable name is a. Correct. A variable contains of value 100. Okay. In the arrays, in the array, integer array, this is line number 13. It is of integer array. I have created one integer array. This is of array object. What type of data it can store, guys? It is of type. It is a first one is a type of data. So I am creating a integer array. I am creating a integer array to store how many number of elements, guys? For four elements, or you can give of 100 also, it doesn't matter, anything. Okay. It is of one variable creation. Okay. Integer variable creation which can store of this is a variable name, right? So it can store of up to 100 elements, up to 100. For time being I'm change it to 4. Okay. For each explanation. Now how to add the data for this variable? Right now it is of nothing, it is of empty array with the size is 4. Okay. I'll explain that soon. Okay. Let me go to the second point. Next, the main advantage of arrays is we can represent hug number of values. We can represent hug number of values by using a single variable. By using a single variable, so that the readability of code will be improved. So instead of writing 100 lines of code, okay, for each variable, each for each number, you are creating a separate variable. Instead of that, if you are writing single variable with all the data, then it is just readability is also improved. Readability is also improved. Like that, we can understand like yes, there is one array is created with 100 elements of type is int. Okay. Instead of reading of all these lines, 100 lines, so I can write all these things in a single line. Okay. What is the meaning of this single line? I have created one array of type integer. Array of type integer. So with the sizes of four elements. Okay. Now let's go to document next. But the main disadvantage of array. Okay, before going to the, guys, is it clear these 2 points first? Yeah. So array. Yes, yes, yeah. Array means till now if you want to store up some values, group of values. Let's say I've created one variable. Okay. Let's say I've created one variable. It is of integer variable. A. It contains of 100. Like this in my project. In my project, I want to create up some 100 variables to store of 100 integer variables. To store of 100 integer variables, I need to create of 100 variables like this. Correct or not? My requirement is 100 variables I need, okay, of int data type integer numbers. Instead of creating 100 lines of code, instead of writing 100 lines of code, I want to write that all the 100 lines of code in a single line. I want to convert that all the 100 lines of code in a single line. Then how can you achieve that? So by using of arrays concept. By using of arrays concept. The first point is, let me reread it. Okay, an array is a indexed collection of fixed number of homogeneous. The array contains only fixed number. We can't increase or decrease the size once we are fixed. Let's say I have given here as 4 size. Okay, but based on our requirement in runtime, we can't decrease or increase the we can't decrease or increase the size at runtime. Okay, that is one drawback of arrays that we can overcome by using later concept, that is collection. Okay, for time being, remember, arrays is a fixed size. Okay, size is fixed, and the type is also, let's say, in the zeroth position. It is a indexed collection, guys. Okay, what is mean by indexed collection means, array can store all the elements, array can store all the elements in position. Let's say if you are giving a array of 4, okay, in the zeroth position, arr of 0, zeroth position, okay, I want to give up some 100. Okay, ARR of first position. Okay, first position I want to store of 120. Okay, ARR of 2. Okay, 2 I want to store of some 130, and ARR of 3. Okay, equal to 140. Okay, now, so in this case, how array will be created means, so in the zeroth position, guys, one more thing, array starting from zeroth position, the storing will start from zeroth position. Okay, yeah, it will start from zeros. So array of 0. Okay, arr, let's say, if we want of how exactly, how exactly this will store, how exactly these elements will store means, internally it will create of internally it will create, let me, it will create of one array, one array. What is the object name, guys? Array. Okay, now I'm dividing into, what is the size of my array here, guys? What is the size of my array? What is the size of my array, guys, here? 4. 4, right? So it can, this object can store 4 elements. So how means, let me divide, it will divide 4 parts. It will divide this into 4 parts. The array will divide into 4 parts. Okay, now let me give off positions. Let me give positions. Okay, this is of zeroth position. Okay, now this is of first position. Okay, I'm telling it will start from 0. Okay, the position, it is of second position, it is of third position. Okay, now the length and size will be different. Okay, now that we'll see again. Okay, now, so if I want to store of any value inside arr of 0. Okay, arr of 0, zeroth position. Okay, zeroth position equal to what value, how it will store means, it will store of first, what is the zeroth position value? 100. Okay, yes, now I'll keep 100 here. Now, next, second position, if you want of arr of 1, arr of 1, what is the value here now? 120. That value will store inside this shell. 120. Okay, now ARR of 2. Okay, now that value will store inside this index 130. In the same way, someone is waiting in the lobby. Yeah. Now, next ARR of 3. ARR of 3. Now, this yes, now it will store in 140 here. Okay. Now, all are fixed. Now, if we are trying to insert one more also, ARR of 4. ARR of size is 4, right? But it is from where it is started? 0, right? 0, 1, 2, 3. That means 4 elements is completed or not? Here we given, yes, here we given 4. Okay. So the index is started from where? 0. That means that 4 elements is completed or not? Our memory is also completed, whatever that we are assigned. Okay. If we are trying to add one more also, okay, then it will give array index out of bound exception. Whatever the index you have given size, that is out of range. Okay. That also will see one example. Okay. The exception is, it will throw an exception, array index. The index what I have given? 4. Okay. Already I have given 0, 1, 2, 3. 4 elements. If you are trying to add up one more element, it will throw the exception name is array index. Array index out of bound. Out of bound exception. Array index out of bound exception, it will throw if you are trying to insert of one more element. Is it clear, guys? Clear, right? That practically we'll see, guys. For time being, if you want to store a 4 elements, how exactly it is going to store internally means, this is the way representation. If you want to get the data also, if you want to get the data also, if you want to second position value, if you want to get, then by using of ARR of 2, if you are using this, then it will give up the third element. Second position means 0, first, second. It will give up third element. Okay. Now we will see of one program also now. Now the main disadvantage, is it clear, guys? These 2 points. Now, the main disadvantage, this is one advantage to store of multiple number of values, hug number of values in a single variable. That is advantage. But there is some disadvantage is arrays is fixed. Arrays is size is fixed. Okay, array is fixed in size. Okay, that is, once we create an array, there is no chance of increasing or decreasing the size, increasing or decreasing the size based on our requirement. Based on our requirement is not possible. Okay, hence arrays concept compulsory we should know the size in advance. If you want to go for arrays concept, compulsory we should know the size in advance. Okay, let's say for example, fixed size means, let's say directions, right? Directions, for example, east, west, north, south. Is there any other direction can we add? Four directions, right or not? That is fixed, right? Correct or not? Guys, are you able to? So in that case, we can't add up any other direction. So if you know the size, if you know the size in advance, then in that case only we should go for arrays concept. Okay. If, yeah, which may not possible always. The same requirement is the size is, knowing size is always is not possible. Then in that case, we can go the concept of collection. That is also a different concept is there in the core Java that we'll discuss later concept. Now, these elements can be, these elements, whatever the data that we are inserted inside in array, these elements can be accessed by index values, by using of index. Okay, it will starting from index is 0. It will store the values in from 0th position index. Okay, index start from 0. That is the behavior of arrays. Next, what is one dimensional array? Okay, what is one dimensional array and two dimensional array, three dimensional, like that multi dimensional array? Okay, now first one, single dimension array or one dimensional array. Whatever that we have seen now, whatever that we have seen now, this is a single dimension array. Single dimension array. Now, if you want to, this is of 10 comma 20 comma 30 comma 40, like that. If we are giving this one, we are giving these things like this, then I can say it is a single dimension. Only one dimension or not? Now, let's say for example 10, 20, 30, 40. If this all is there means, then I can say rows is there, columns is there. Okay, but here only rows, right? This is only one row. Here we have rows and it is of multi-dimensional. I can see this is of multi-dimensional array. This the concept how to represent this one is, instead of single dimension, this is single dimension. If we are adding one more, then I can say it is a multi-dimensional or two-dimensional array. Okay, how to represent the data inside this, that we'll see soon. For time being, complete first single dimension. Now, how to declare a variable single dimensional array, how to declare it. Now, this is of one variable declaration, int c equal directly 120. Okay, the array's declaration is bit change. Okay, there are multiple ways you can declare the variable, array variable. Okay, how it is means, int brackets is there, right? Whatever the array brackets, that we can add, that we can add to the type also, that we can add. Now come down little bit. Yes, int, before how we are giving into array arr have given like this. Okay, just assume later, the later part. So this is of array declaration. So I can give up these, I can give up these two brackets. So at, I can attach those to the type, integer type, these two. Okay, the other way is int of arr, I can add for the variable also these two brackets. Okay, or I can add those two. So one more is, even after that also we can add. Even after this also we can add. In this way we can deploy. All are same. The compiler will not give up any error. If you are declaring any type also, it is treating like a integer array. It will treat like as a integer array. Anyway, we can, all these ways we can declare it. This is of array declaration. Okay, and one more things. So one more thing, the second point. So at the time of declaration, we can't specify the size. At the time of declaration, we can't specify the size, otherwise you'll get off compile time error. Let's go to practical things. Now let's, so this is of integer array or not, guys? I've created, right? Now, for example, the declaration part, go control X. In this way we can declare, or int of variable, comment this part, it is otherwise duplicate. Now in this way also no error. Okay, or else all are same. I'm giving up one more, int a array. Even like this also I can go. Any ways we can declare the array variable. Okay, and the size, the size is new int of, the size must be give, we need to give of after declaration. Okay, this is of declaration. This is of creation, initialization. Okay, this is of instantiation, creating array object. Instantiation, not initialization, guys. Instantiation. Okay, now whatever the four variable the size, we mustn't give inside after equal to only. You should not give here. You should not give of here. That is of wrong declaration. This is of wrong declaration. That's what the meaning of here. Okay, is it clear, guys, this part? The size must be give after variable declaration. This is of variable declaration. Okay, and after equal to only we need to give of the size. Okay, not before equal to, or at the time of declaration we should not give size. If you are trying to give also, it will give error, compile time error. Compiler cannot understood that we are giving the size before. Okay, that is what the meaning of this one. Is it clear, guys? So creating variable, right? So the size must be give. Okay, the size must be give at the time of instantiation, not at the time of declaration. Okay, remember that point. This is of declaration part. This is of instantiation or object creation. Time of object creation only we should give that. Okay, or else we can represent the same in, we can represent control x, give, and we can add in the second line also. Second line also, in this way also we can. Here I have declared. Okay, here I have instantiated. Here I have instantiated. Now both are same, guys. This is the variable name. For this variable name I am creating object with some size. Okay, instead of two lines, before I am doing of single line, we can do a single line also. Okay, even second line also we can divide that. Next, that's what the meaning of that. The next part is declaration, instantiation, initialization. Three we can do in a single line also. Okay, we can perform declaration, construction, and initialization of array in single line. Okay, this is of one approach. Okay, this is of one approach. So this is of declaration and instantiation and initialization. Initialization means setting the data. Initialization means setting the data, the meaning of that. Okay, guys. Now, instantiation means creating object. Creating object. Declaration means this first part will come into the declaration. Okay. Now, so instead of writing off in the, this is the first approach. This is the first approach. If you want everything in a single line means then directly array int array directly also we can, let's say, copy this with, let's say, now. So what I'm doing here now, so I have created declared array, instantiated, and initialized data with this. Okay, now instead of writing up these lines, I can write a single array object with this data. How means int a1, just I am giving name equal to 10 comma 20 comma 30 comma 40. Even I can write all these lines in a single line by using like this. This is a second approach. This is a second approach. Instead of writing of multiple lines of code, I am writing in single line. Is it clear, guys, this one? Both the ways, two ways we can create the arrays. One is single line, are created, declared, and instantiated. Okay, and data is setting in different lines. If you want to do all in a single line, then we can do declare the variable and directly set the data. Internally it will understood this is of integer array. This is of integer array. Let's say for suppose dot 34. Then what is this type, guys? This is of, no, double, right? So this double, this have different data type, correct or not? But what we are giving this array type is integer. So it can store of a1 is a array object of type, which type is int type, correct or not? See, first we are giving this is of type, guys, data type. What type of data we are storing inside this array? This is of data type. Let me, I think that is there. I have given below, I think. Yeah, yeah. If any declaration syntax, okay, it is of data type. Let's say this is data type. This is of variable. Okay, this is of variable, or this is of data, actual data. Okay, that means that this is of variable a1 is contains the data of which data type? Into data type data. Okay, it can store only into data type but not double. See, cannot convert double to int. Is it clear or not, guys? I told you the first point is, what is the first point in our document? An array is a indexed collection of fixed number of, what is the type? Homogeneous means same data type. Homogeneous means same. The meaning of that. Okay. It cannot understood of other data types. All are integer type. So that is the reason it is not giving any error. If we are changing the data of different data type means 20.45 is of type is double data type. The double data type value cannot store inside into data type. Okay, that's what the meaning of that. Next, come down. If you want to use of shortcut, then we need to use of single variable. We need to use of like this. If you want in a single line means, then how exactly before we are doing of declaration and initialization, right? If you want to set the instantiation, but initialization is not possible in different way. See, integer array x is a variable 10 20 30. This is valid. Okay, this is a declaration, but this is not possible here. Let's say for example, guys, can you please go on mute? Whoever is not speaking. Now let's say, for suppose, let me hear. So I said one thing before, int array x equal to is a declaration. Okay, x equal to new int of size some 10 give. Okay, give some 10. This is valid. Okay, this is declaration, this is instantiation. Instead of this, we can't give off data directly. We can't give off data directly. This is not possible again. Okay, so the declaration, instantiation and initialization, that is possible, but here we are declared. Okay, but directly we are initializing with the data without knowing the size. That is not possible. Okay, that's what the meaning of that. Next, construction of arrays. Construction of array. Now, every array in Java is an object. Everything, everything it is a variable, right? It will call it as a object also. Of type array object, integer array object. We can call this as a array object also. Okay. Now every array in Java is an object only. Hence, we can create arrays by using a new operator. By using new operator, we can create object of an array. Okay, that's what in this line the meaning. Okay, new is new is a keyword. New is a keyword to create object. Okay, not only for arrays, for any other class objects also we can create object of array, object of any class by using new operator. By using new is a operator. Okay, next point. Yeah, so all whatever the conditions that I'm giving point by point. Okay, at the time of array creation compulsory we should specify the size, otherwise we'll get off compile time error. This is again, so at the time of creating the array object, okay, compulsory we should give size. If you are not giving size, it will give error. Okay, that's what the meaning of that. This is invalid, this is valid. Now next, so with zero size also, with zero size also we can create an object. We can create an object. If you are trying to insert okay data, it you can't. Okay, but object is created. I don't want to insert any data, but I have created object. That is a valid statement. That is a valid statement. Zero is also valid. See, no error. Okay, but that is also some number, right? If you are giving negative, if you are giving negative also, it won't give at the time of compilation. It won't give any error at the time of compilation. At the runtime, at the runtime it will give error like negative array size exception. Negative size array exception. Let's say for example, let me run it. Just Java run as Java application. What happened? 1 second, guys. Okay, this is a wrong thing. Now let's run it. It will give off negative array size exception. Okay, we should not give off negative. Okay, now before we have given off 4, right? Now if I am trying to add up one more with 4, a of 4 means it will give off error is array index. What is the size I have given here, guys? 4. Okay, but here I am trying to insert how many elements? 5. So this will give error. Let me array index out of bound. Array index, see, array index out of bound exception of 4. Okay, this 4 is not possible to insert. This element is not possible to insert the data. If you are giving here 5, then no issue. Now let's rerun, change that to 5 and rerun it. See, now no error. Okay, that's what. Next one is yeah, the other ways of declaring size. Other ways of declaring size is this is the known thing. Okay, the second one is instead of 10, if I am giving c, small c means, so last week I have given for each and every, for each and every character there is some unicode is there internally. Okay, for that what is the value for c, small c, guys? It is of capital small a means 97, small b means 98, small c means 99. The size of this is the size of this is 99. Here it will come instead of c, it will take as a 99 internally. Even this is also a valid one. This is also a valid one. Okay, now let's say here if I am giving small c, the size of this one, let's say standard order println a dot a dot length, a dot length, what it is giving guys, 99. That means that what I have given actually C, right? So internally it will convert to some Unicode. This is also a valid representation, the meaning. Okay. Now, and if you want to give some variable size, let's say int v equal to some 20. Okay. Even directly I can give this v also here. V also here. Then what is the size of now, guys? I have given 20, correct. Whatever that v I've given that variable into some different variable, that value I'm giving inside this array. Okay, even this is also a valid scenario. Okay, I'm explaining how many different valid scenarios that we can declare a array. Okay, these are the valid scenarios. Okay, now next, the maximum allowed array size. Okay, here we are giving up some size, right? 1 or 2 or 10 or 100, like that. The maximum size, the maximum size that we can give off, what is the integer max value, guys? Minus 2 power 31 to 2 power 31 minus 1, correct or not? So up to that value it can store. Okay, this is of max value of integer. Okay, even array also will accept of the max size of array is, this is the value, max value of array size is integer max value. If I am giving 48 also, it will not accept it. See, the max value of integer is 21, 47, 48, 36, and 47. That is the max value of array, and the value of size, the value is the max value of integer data type. Okay. Now next, yeah, that's what I have given. This is the valid one. This is invalid. Okay. Now we'll go to some practical things. So now I've given one example also. I'll give this already the program is available in the document. Okay, same I am explaining. So this is a one array I am created, single dimension or a one dimensional array. One dimensional array I have created. Okay, with the 10, 20, 30, 40. If I want to print off all this data, array of 0, array of 1, array of 2, array of 3. Okay, internally it will create the structure is like this. Okay, if you want to get the position, first position, second position, third position, by directly giving up that position also we can get. Let's say if I want to get directly third value, I can get a of 3, a of 3. It will give that 40 value. It will give off 40 value. See here, 40. If you want to, let me comment of this part. Yeah. This is of F3. Now it will print off only 40. See, it is printing off only 40. If you want all other position, 0, first, second, also if you want means, then we need of uncomment it. Save it. Now run it. Run as, right click, run as Java application. See, 10, 20, 30, 40, all positions data is displayed. F0 means 10, F2 means 20, F3 means 30, F3 means 40. Okay, how to iterate the data instead of line writing like this? I want to iterate the data. I want to iterate the data. Thereby using a for loop, we can do that. There are multiple ways is there. Okay, now this is for, means for is a one loop. This is one concept is there, guys. Okay, so all there are some while, do, while, switch, all those conditional statements is there. Okay, and iterative statements is there. In that statement, in that concept, I will explain this for loop. Okay, for time being, I'm using to iterate the arrays, I'm using of for loop. Okay, it contains of three part. Into from 0th position I want to start. F 0, what is the length? If 4 is there, 4 iterate. If 10 is there, 10 iterate. Okay, this is the condition checking. This is a increment. Okay, increment and decrement, all this concept will come later. For time being, to iterate the array data, I'm using a for loop. Okay, now let me run it. Instead of f0, f1, f2, f3, I'm writing by using a for loop. I can replace, I'm replacing of that code. Okay, see, even this case also for 4 is displaying, or else comment this part. Okay, let's, yeah, see, it's displaying up. This is one approach for loop. Okay, there is one more came in Java 1.5, that is called for each loop. Even by using that also we can iterate. In this case we are giving of initialization, condition, and increment and decrement. In this case only array and what is the type, only those two is enough. Okay, this is, these are this for, I'll explain later, guys. Just for time being, to iterate the data, I'm using of for your purpose. Okay, later I'll explain this concept later. Okay, for iterating the data of array, I use of this concept for time being. Now coming to next one. Is it clear, guys? The one dimensional array, how exactly to store internally, what is the size, how to declare this? Okay, what is the max size of array? I have given all these points, guys. Just you need to remember, and you can revise it again also. Is it okay, or you want me to repeat anything else as part of this one dimensional array? Okay. Okay, good. Now we are going to two dimensional array. Now we are going to two dimensional array. If we are giving of two brackets, okay, two open and two close bracket means, then we can say it is a two dimensional array. Then we can say it is a two dimensional array. Now, single dimensional array, how we have given the declaration like this, right? Integer brackets, variable name. Integer brackets and variable name. Integer array and brackets. In this multiple ways we are declaring. Okay. How exactly two dimensional arrays? Two dimensional arrays can be declared means, yeah, this is what. Okay. Int two brackets before, the variable, and after the variable, one bracket with data type, one bracket with variable, one bracket with data type, other bracket with after variable. Okay, one bracket with before variable, one bracket with after variable. All these are valid representations of, valid declarations of two dimensional array. Anyway we can represent, anyway we can represent it, or else, or else. Now we'll go for some exercise. In this case both are single dimensional array, one dimensional, one dimensional. Now next one is f array. F array is there. So for this, whatever the brackets that is here, the meaning of this, let me give, or else first give this. The meaning of this is, okay, the meaning of int array, a array, comma, int b array. So instead of doing of like this, okay, instead of doing in multiple lines a array and b array, I can do it like this also, integer array a comma b. Okay, it is of a is one dimensional array, b is also one dimensional array. Now next one is this one. Okay, now in this case already after a one dimension is there, right? Now in this case int a is two dimensional array. This is, this array will add for all the variables. This array add for all the variables. So already a contains one array, right? Now this also will add one more. This is a is two dimensional array. For b is only, already after nothing is there, before is also not there, so only this will add. B is a single dimensional array. Is it clear, guys? This one bit tricky. Like if already a has some array, in the declaration itself I have given one array, so for the data type also one array is there, so this will add for all the variables. Okay, then in that case a contains 2, b contains nothing is there, so only one add. Then in that case b is, see, a is two dimensional array, b is single dimensional array. Yeah, or one dimensional array or single dimension array, right? So you should understood like here, wherever that wherever you are adding that, for the data type you are adding any data array, then that array is applicable for all the variables, the meaning of that. Okay, now already a contains one array, this also will add, that is the reason a is becoming two dimensional array. Okay, now in the second part, see here, here also array is there, here also array is there. That means this array, whatever the data type array is there, right, attached array, that will add for all other variables also. Then in that case a is also two dimensional, b is also two dimensional, because already a and b having already one array, single dimension array. For this single dimension array I am adding one more dimension, that in that case it is becoming two dimensional. Okay, is it clear or not, guys? Yeah. Now, now in this case, yeah, see here, it is bit tricky again. It is a bit tricky. Now, so before variable, before variable, whatever the dimensions is there, that is a combining both. The meaning of, if space is also there, it won't read that space. That means that it is of two dimensional. For the data type, these two will be added to a, and these two will be added to b also. Then in that case b is already having one, that means b is three dimensional, a is two dimensional. Okay, before variable the brackets is there, guys. If any spaces is also, it won't read that. Okay, now a is of two dimensional, into b is of, already one is there, now these two also need to add. Okay, one two, that means a is two dimensional, b is three dimensional. Okay, that's what the meaning of this. Okay, and one more thing, this is the important. So before variable the brackets is there, right? That is applicable only for the first variable, that is applicable only for first variable only we can keep brackets before. Okay, from the second variable onwards we can't keep brackets before the variable. That the rule is, that option is only for first variable. Yeah, see here, if you want to specify the dimensions before the variable, that facility is applicable only for the first variable in the declaration. Okay, if you are trying to apply for the remaining variables, we will get a error. Now let's see, let's say int array 1, okay, a of array comma b of b, okay. This will give error, okay. Let's say here I can give, but let's remove here. It won't give off 1 second duplicate variable. It's of duplicate x. See, if I am adding here, it will not accept again. It is error. See, error is throwing. If I am removing of these two brackets, no error. See, no error. Okay. This option or provision is only for first variable only. First, okay. That is the meaning of this point. Okay. Now next. So how exactly the declaration and initialization? So first one is data type. First one is data type, that we know. The next one is after before brackets and after bracket before equal to whatever that is there, that is of variable names. Okay, those are variable names. Okay, after that new is a keyword for creating of data type. Okay, now let's have, for suppose I'm creating up one more variable equal to new int of we need to give at least first size is minimum, at least one is minimum. These are sizes, guys. These are size of array. Compulsory size is required, right? That's what I told you in the first step itself. Okay, this is one example of that declaration. And initialization of data. Initialization of data is initialization of data is first one is first brackets is dimension is row index. First one is row index. Second one is column index. Okay, which column? First row, second column. Second row, first column. Like that, it these two dimensions will represent the rows and columns. Rows and columns it will represent it. Now let's say, yeah, direct both we can also do, declaration and initialization both also we can do in single line. Okay, before we are using single line, everything declaration, instantiation and initialization. Even for two dimension also we can do in single. Okay, but the brackets will increase. This is one dimension and this is another dimension. Okay, that's what it is, a multi-dimensional array. Okay, how exactly the data will store, how to retrieve the data, that will see one example. Okay, see here, column column 1, column 0, column 1, column 2. Okay, now whichever is coming down, this is of row 1, row 2, row 3. The first cell is a column 0 and row 0, right? Second one is column 1, row 0, column 2, row 0. Okay, first to represent the row. Now coming to second row, see, row is 1, column is 0. Row is 1, column is also 1. Row is 1, column is 2, this one. Okay, now coming to the third one, this is of row is 2, column is 0. This is row is 2, column is 1. Row is 2, column is 2. Like that we need to insert the data and getting the data also. Okay, now let's will take up one example program. Okay, now this is a, I'll give this one later example. Now what I am doing is, here I have taken of one two-dimensional array. So two dimensions is there means it is of two-dimensional. The object name is ARR. So I am directly initializing the data here. Okay, this is one dimensional. This is of another dimension. Okay, this is of two dimensional. To read the data of this 10 and 20, To read the data of 10 and 20. Okay. Now this is one row. This is of another row. Okay. Now we need of one for loop to iterate the data of this one. Okay, zeroth position and one first position. Okay, now to iterate the data of this one, I am using of another loop. Another loop, zeroth position and first position. Okay, now by taking of these two, zeroth position of zeroth row and zeroth column. Okay, so that means a of 0 comma 0, it will give first. Okay, now next a of 0 comma 1, next iteration. Now let's read it. See, I'm giving positions, guys. A of 0 comma 0, a of 0 comma 0 means it is of value which is coming 10. Now let's see how to give more means 10, 20, next 30. Okay, this is of 10 is there in 0th column and 0th row. Is it correct or not? Based on this you should understood, guys. Based on this, the 10 is in 0th row and 0th column. Okay, now 20 is in 0th row and first column. 0th row and first column. Okay, now 30 is first row and 0th column. Correct or not, guys? So this one is how we are representing means, let's say take off paint. Let's take it one more. This is just assume array. I am dividing this into 4 parts. Okay. Okay. Now this is a position. This is the first position is just object is just assume object is ARR. Okay, object is ARR. The first position is this is of rows. Row 1. This is row. This is row 0, guys. Row 0. It will start from 0. Row or else row 0. Okay. This is of row 1. Okay, next these are columns again. These are column col column 0, column col column 1. Okay, now whatever the value that I'm inserting here, let's say 10, here 20, here 30, here 40. Okay, just assume. So what is the position of 10, guys? Now what is the which row it is? Yes, row 0 and column 0, right? That is what here the value is coming. Row 0 and column 0 is coming as 10. Okay, now what about the 20? Row 0, column 1. Yeah, see, row 0, column 1. The value is coming which value? 20. Correct or not? Now next coming to second, what is the row and column for this one? For 30, yes, row 1 column 0, row 1 column 0. Correct or not? That is the reason 30 is coming. 40 is row 1 as well as column 1. Guys, you understood, right? How exactly the value is coming? Yeah, that's where this row 1 and column 1 is the data is getting from multi-dimensional array or two-dimensional array. Now, so what is the length of array is 2, whatever the dimensions that is there, right, that will give the length, that will give length, that is the reason it is giving of 2 array length. Okay, now the length method will give the length of an array. Again, this is a variable in, this is length is a variable. Okay, there is one more method, length. There is one more method with parenthesis. With parenthesis is there means then we can treat that as a method, not a variable. The meaning of that. Okay. Now, what is the difference between, what is the difference between length with without parenthesis, length with parenthesis is there is some difference is there. Now let's come down. So we are using of here length, guys. Normally we will use of here length. Okay, so that is the reason I am explaining of array dot length, string dot length is there, one more method is there, the different length and length with length parenthesis. Length is a variable, length is a variable to represent the size of an array. Size without parenthesis, if you are using anywhere the one variable means that is applicable only for arrays. To know the length or size of the array, to know the size of the array. Okay, and length is a final variable applicable for only arrays, only for arrays. This we can use only for array objects. Array is of, it is of type of integer type two dimensional array. This variable we can use only for, this is a predefined variable. Okay, this we can use only for arrays. Okay, only for array objects. So that is the reason we are using of this one. Okay, now length means it will give of this value 10. What is the array length it will give? Okay, but the length method, length with two parentheses, I can say it is a method, not a variable. This length method is final method applicable for string objects. This is a method. Okay, it is available in string class, some predefined class is there, string. Okay, that method is applicable only for string class objects. To know the length of the string, to know the length of the string, we will use of this length method. Okay, let's say for example, this is of one, this is of one string. Okay, it is of one string. S equal string is a predefined class. Is there is separate class I will take for string. Okay, for timing, string is means set of characters, set of characters, or a sequence of characters, will call it as a string. For time being, string means set of characters or sequence of characters, is nothing but a one string. I am taking up one string s equal to ibc techno 1 variable. Well, some data I have taken. I want to know the length of this ibc techno. What is the length of this ibc techno? If you want to know that, it is of one string variable. Okay, that I am storing inside. Yes, if I want to know the length of this, there is a method is already available in string class. Okay, there is one method is available in string class to know the length of this string. In that case, we will use of length with parenthesis method. This is of length method. Okay, in that case only we will use of length. So this will give the length of the string. Now let's run it. See, the length of string is 9. 9 or not? See, correct, 9, right? 3, 3, 3, right? It is the length is giving 9. Let's say if you're giving of people, now it will give of 12. Now it will give of 12. Okay, that is what the difference between length variable and length method. Okay, another example of string array. Okay, instead of integer array, I have taken one more example of string array. Okay, string array, so it contains of single character, two characters, three characters. In that case, see, s dot length is a variable, is a arrays length variable. We can apply for variables of array type. Now let's take this, then you can practice in this way. This is of one variable. So length is a variable that is applicable only for arrays. Okay, string is a array. String s sorry, this s is a of one variable of type array with string. Okay, now s dot length, it is a valid, but this method parenthesis is there, right? This is not applicable for this variable. Okay, that is not applicable for arrays, that method. Now next, inside this we have some sequence of characters or strings is there. So for their length method is there. S of 0 means it will give. Okay, that is on string, it is there in the double quotes. So s of 0 dot length. So for that string variable we can assign of, we can use of the length method. Okay, but not variable. This variable, the length variable is we can applicable only for arrays. Okay, and the length method is applicable for strings. Length method is applicable for strings. Remember these 2 points enough. Length is a variable that is applicable only for arrays objects. Okay, length method is applicable only for string objects to know the length of the string. Just remember these 2 points. Okay, next, this is what I have printing of the data of array. One more example I have given. Nothing. Is it clear, guys? Guys, this string concept I will explain again, guys. Don't worry. String concept I will explain. Sorry. Yes, this is a string is a separate class is there, that I will explain later. For understanding of the length and length method, I have given one example for this. Okay, the string is a separate class, is a predefined class, so it will take off one full class to explain about string class. Okay, that is a most usable class in our real time. String is mostly will use that. Okay, the methods, variables, everything will use many. There are a lot of methods available in string class. Mostly will use that class. Okay, only for example purpose I have given. Okay, instead of see here, just assume it is a int. It is of integer variable. These are integer values. Just assume. Okay. To know the length of the string, we need to use length method. To know the array length, we need to use a length variable. For understanding of those things, 2 points. One example I have given here. That's it. But I'll explain about more in string concept. Okay. Is it okay, guys? Yeah, I will share this document. Okay, you people can practice it if you are installed the Eclipse, everything on Java. Okay, okay, guys. Yeah, we'll meet tomorrow. Thank you. Yeah, please. Which one? Which one? Number. By using arrays, you want to replace it. Okay, where? Let me, let me, let me. 1 second. Let me take off one example. Wait. Yeah. Tell me what you want here. Already, I have fixed. Yeah. Okay. Oh, 10 as 40. Okay. The first position value. You want to replace first position value. Okay. Here simply what we can do? F 0. F 0 equal to, already I have declared here. Now keep it to some 50. Okay. Now F you want to 3 also you want to replace, right? Equal to, just assume 60. Okay. Now automatically this is at the time of creation, it will create like this. Okay, it will create initial line, the first line. In this line, what it will do, it will replace the 10, it will replace the 100 with, sorry, 100 with 50. Okay, and a of 3, it will replace 140 with 60. Okay, now let's take, let's run it. Second, somewhere it is not saved. Proceed. Is it replaced or not? Now let's say for example, if I am not given these two, now see the output. What is coming? 10, 20, 30, 40, right? If I am replacing, I want to replace the first position value, A of 0. Okay, 10 replace with 50. Okay, and 40 replace with 60. A of third position, 0, first, second, third. Okay, A of 3 equal to replace to 60 means automatically it will replace the override this 40 with 60. Now let's run it. Is it clear now? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, please. Okay. You want what you want? Yeah. See. Okay. 10, 10, 10, 30. Okay. What you want? It will allow duplicates. So it is the first zeroth position is 10. It is storing. First position also it is storing 10. So the duplicates, avoiding duplicates. You mean that is a concept there is in the collections. There are some predefined methods is there. Okay. Set. It will not allow duplicates. Okay. Those concepts are different is there, that we'll discuss in depth later. Okay, yeah, and you people can practice of some programs in the online also. Okay, along with this, try more knowledge on that from the online along with this, if you want any practice. Okay, yeah, do some programs, you will get better idea. Okay guys, if you're fine, then we can meet tomorrow again. Thank you.